What's up, Eurovision fam? It's good to see you again. This is the Eurovision fam weekly stream. We have Lily Loves here. I am Jordan, Shortcake ESC, and we have a jam-packed week for you guys. On top of the fact that after this stream, we have another song that will be decided. So that's very exciting.
Yeah. So our lonely single song from Montenegro will be getting a friend later on after everything's over. But yes, I am Lily Love Stuff, and welcome to the Eurovision Fam weekly stream. Since you're here, go ahead and hit like so we can get that little algorithmic boost while you're around. I do see one person here on the stream already. So hello, this is Olivia Sjolander with hello everyone. My name is Olivia Sjolander from Sweden. How are you doing today? We're good, Olivia. How are
Doing
you?
very well, Olivia. Thank you.
And
Good to have you.
Merry Christmas to you too. So, let's go ahead and get things started with. Speaking of Christmas, you put up an article this week called "Merry
Yeah.
Fikmas."
So, you guys, today is the day, or this evening, tonight, if you're in Europe, Albania will be choosing their Eurovision song. So they do this through the national selection Festivali Këngës, which is based off of the Sanremo Music Festival in Italy. And it is one of the most iconic national finals to go into a Eurovision season. It's the perfect way to end the year and start a Eurovision new year. There have been two semifinals so far, one on Thursday, a second on Friday, and last night they had their nostalgia evening, which the qualifiers were announced. By surprise, they were cut from 18 to 15. But with that said, we do have that list of qualifiers, and we will be going through that at the end of the stream.
I lost you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So essentially, what I told
it's a me thing. We can't
it's
have
all
a stream
good. You're
without some
back.
kind of technical difficulty.
Sorry, you guys. Like, this is a kind of uncomfortable hat. But basically, yeah, that's what's going to be going on in Albania. So go ahead and check out my article on the site if you want to get a couple more details as to how it all goes down. But the other site article we have up as well was written by our writer Brooke, and this is called "The 12 Days of Christmas from a Fan Across the Sea." So if you like the song "The 12 Days of Christmas," the English version of it at least, we have a working Eurovision 12 Days of Christmas to go along with it. So go ahead if you want to have just a little bit more fun outside of the traditional lyrics of the song, then it'll put you in a really good mood. So go ahead and check that out and stay updated on the site to there we go to see what next articles we have coming out, because all season we're going to be pumping out new articles. So yeah, go ahead and check out the site. We do have a couple announcements that were put out during this week that I found to be pretty interesting. When Lily comes back, we could definitely talk about Claude, the representative.
So
Oh,
my camera suddenly stopped working.
okay.
And I can't get it to start working again. Yeah. Also, side note about the article, it is a group article. It's not just Brooke only who worked on it.
Yes, it's a group
The
article.
12 Days of Christmas themed article. Wow. I'll be right back. I'm going to try to leave and come back and see if that fixed my camera.
Okay.
So, if you want to sing us a song or something while that
I'll
happens,
hold it down. I'll hold it
you
down.
can hold
We're
it
good.
down.
It's actually a good kind of cue for me to introduce the acts from Luxembourg, you guys. We weren't originally going to be talking about them in this stream just because of the density of detail we needed to include in the stream, but Luxembourg, they are hosting the Luxembourg Song Contest once again. If you remember it from last year, it wasn't exactly what folks had expected, but in terms of the stage show itself, in terms of the assembly of the show, it was well done. The songs kind of left a lot to be desired last year, or at least that's in my opinion, and it was among the discourse that I've seen about the songs in Luxembourg last year. This year, we do have 7 songs again and a couple returnees. So we have Laura Thorne singing Le Poupée Monte le Son. We have Luzac with Je Danse. We have Mena with Human Eyes. One Last Time with Gambler Song. Rafaela with No Thank You. Rhythmic Soul Wave with Stronger. And zero point 0.5 with Ride. Oh, Lily is back. Welcome
I
back. I
thought
was
we
just
were
reading off
skipping Luxembourg
Luxembourg.
for this week.
No, I didn't know how long you're going to be back, so I just introduced the names. It's okay. We don't have to. we don't have to go into detail. I just introduced the acts.
Okay, yeah, I haven't touched the songs yet. I'm sorry, I've been busy. But I'm ready to talk about Claude.
Yeah,
I've
let's
got
talk about
notes,
Claude.
lots of notes about Claude. So yeah, then the Netherlands is the name of the country. The Netherlands has internally selected Claude to represent them at Eurovision in Basel this year. So he's interesting. I went through and I listened to his entire discography because he has one album and a few EPs. And it's an interesting choice. We're definitely heading in like a kind of pop direction. And it's kind of surprising because most of his songs are in French. I wasn't really expecting that to happen. But yeah, so talking about Claude here, he did win. Oh wait, he competed on the 8th season of The Voice Kids because he's young. Like this was in 2019. He competed. He's only 21.
What?
He's a baby. Actually, his birthday. He's one day younger than my two youngest siblings. His birthday's the day after their birthday. So I was like, oh, I know people who are born right around the same time as you. Literally, it's like, wow, I can tell. I know exactly what I was doing the day you were born.
Wow, it's funny how you can remember that. And here he is, a whole 21-year-old representing the Netherlands.
I say that like at work. I had the same realization with somebody at work like last night. I was like, wow, I remember the day you were born.
I'm not at that point in my life yet, but we'll get there.
One day. So then, yeah, so he competed. He didn't win that, but he did win a show that came out in 2020 called Are You Next? So yeah, he went to that, won a recording contract. His first single got released in 2022. It's called Lara Montagne Moi, and it peaked at number 1 in on the Dutch charts. So right off the bat, it was doing pretty good. He's had a number of singles chart in the Netherlands. Also, he said singles chart in Belgium, along with other countries in Europe. It says 15 countries he charted in total. So, yeah.
Impressive. Very impressive for someone with kind of just not that expansive of a repertoire, but to demonstrate that much strength in your sound already. Interesting.
Yes. His first album came out about a month before he was announced. So I'd say check it out because I'm gonna guess we'll have a sound similar to something on that album, given it just came out. So yeah, I think this is an interesting choice. And I look forward to seeing what we get from them because I feel like the Dutch, with the internal selections lately, have been doing better than I'd expect. But yeah, we'll see.
I mean, with the exception of Burning Daylight, but I do think.
Oh right, that was a crash out for all crash outs, baby.
Yeah, but it's okay. That was a fluke. I think the Dutch delegation picked someone with a very unique voice. I like just hearing him sing. I feel like everyone say hello, Rue. She's gonna be running up and down my face today. But hello. His voice has that very just kind of warm, deep baritone that you would expect from like Italy, for example. You would just kind of expect that kind of grand, rounded sound from a country that's not Dutch, but they're going in that direction this year, and I look forward to it. This is the first time that I've really looked forward to a Dutch entry since Jeongu, I think.
Oh, robbed king. Just
in every way
deserved better. I want to know if he's gonna sing in French.
That would be so interesting.
English.
I mean, I know a couple Dutch folks who would not like that, but get over it.
I mean, hey, Yeah, and then Brooke has one more thing to add to this conversation, which is also he's fine. He's a very attractive man.
I mean, you said the quiet part out loud. We all know that. We all see it.
We have eyes. So yeah. That's that. And then
they better make him fly. They better dress him well. That's my closing thought.
Honestly, put him in a good suit.
Uh-huh.
Make him sing a ballad. Go the route of Salman last year.
Yeah.
That did well.
Go in the defined romantic, refined, not defined. But yeah, go in the direction of a respectable balladeer man.
Everyone
and I
likes
feel like
a
you
man
might turn
in a
out
suit.
well. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, we also got graphics and stuff for the 2025 season.
We sure did.
Go ahead and pull up the share screen button for this one. And I don't know how I feel.
I wonder
about these graphic choices.
I wonder what the final discussion was in the committee to say, yeah, this is it, you guys. We're gonna press release on this.
Like, this is what we've got that we're working with.
It's giving me Dusseldorf.
Low key, yes. It's very much 2011 vibes. It's kind of like a half, like a half tone heart, situation, or like the Eurovision logo. It does definitely give me thoughts of Dusseldorf. It makes me think of the Dusseldorf stage, oddly enough. Oh,
yeah.
no.
The columns of lights or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll do like the pictograph of the flag like that. I don't know how I feel.
What is that? No. How is that official PR? What?
I just.
Oh girl.
I'll go back up. We'll look at the stage later. There were some statements made. Oh, let me go back to what I was looking to go back to. Here it is. There were some statements made about this design. The visual branding is a concept called Unity Shapes Love.
Unity Shapes Love.
Yes.
But that's not the slogan from what I understand, correct? Because the slogan will no longer be changing ever.
Oh, no. It's United by Music. We need to get rid of that. I'm sorry. I think that
I thought it was mid in Liverpool. Come on.
It was cute in Liverpool, but launching it as a permanent slogan last year when everything happened the way it happened and not changing it, that anything related to 2014 should be forgotten except for the music at this point. Because if I were in charge, I'm like, yeah, we're scrapping that. After the shit show you all had, no.
Yeah, Copenhagen it had a number of choices. It sure did.
Yes. And then I'm sorry, I'm just like looking at a comment here from LOD. Unity Shapes Love. That's PR nonsense. Come on. 100% PR nonsense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Unity Shapes Love. I'm sorry, it's giving English. Like,
English.
It's like you would find that in a shirt in a secondhand store in like Johor, Malaysia. I'm sorry, I don't. But hey, who knows? They might be able to flesh it out. They might be able to show us some kind of like number. What's it called? Like a celebratory interval act. That's like Unity Shapes Love, and it's like some kind of like choir of children.
That's just the branding concept. That's just like the idea behind where they started out with the graphic. And I see that because we've got.
I think they're gonna get lazy with it and start. And I feel like that's gonna be some kind of like effect to a common song, that Unity Shapes Love phrase. I feel like they're gonna get lazy and use that somewhere where it shouldn't be used. But that's just me. That's my prediction.
So what are we doing, honey? Now we want attention. I'm sorry. Your cat wanted attention.
My little one wants them too. So yeah.
Yeah. So it says listening as the central guiding theme because it's inspired by Swiss direct democracy, which I don't see. Maybe the
I see
stuff,
more
like the
Swiss
hearts.
cheese than direct democracy,
Oh
given
my
the
goodness.
graphic. But
My
hey, I
gosh.
mean, like y'all know what you're doing. You know what you're doing with this. So
It's a choice. It's definitely a choice.
it's not
We
it's
also,
not that bad. It's not that bad. We've definitely had much worse in the recent past. This like doesn't really upset me, but it's just kind of confusing.
yeah. Oh, look at you. Sorry, he's just laying right on top of my mouse, so I can't really scroll. And then the other things we've got were like the audio identity, that's supposed to have harkenings back to traditional music from Switzerland and
Hmm.
also be modern. So it's based on a powerful beat with Swiss elements such as yodeling, the Basel drum corps, the hackbrett. I don't know what a hackbrett is, and alphorns. I know what an alphorn is. It makes me think of rucola. So if you've got a sore throat, you can get a lot.
Oh, okay.
Um.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm gonna put him down again, and hopefully he stops coming up here. All right. So yeah, I like the backing music they chose. Like it's like I
It's
guess
not that bad. Yeah, it has like it feels thematic. It feels distinct to the year. It doesn't feel like it's being muddled by the sounds of other years. So yeah, I appreciate that.
okay. And now the big thing, which is the stage. So I'm gonna go back over here. Just
I'm
enjoy
surprised
me pulling up the Eurovision.
they didn't include any of the
Mhm.
graphic design as my passion, like font names of the
Oh
the
goodness.
countries, with that like it's like a serifed font, but that's italicized. It's like
Okay,
budget wear.
the font is not good, but
The font
that's a
it's a choice, but
not
we'll get to
everyone is
that.
a font weirdo like us. Here's the staging thing. Surprise, surprise. It was designed by Florian Wieder. Of course it
Hmm.
was. And then, see, now we just have chaos. Absolute chaos happening. And then it's inspired by the Swiss Alps, and linguistic diversity, which I don't see how this represents linguistic diversity. Um,
Linguistic diversity is the moniker for this. For
yeah,
this.
the staging was inspired by Swiss mountains and Swiss linguistic diversity.
Oh, they were not sure about that last
I
detail. They
don't
were just like, we're gonna put that on there because we need to meet some kind of quota. But linguistic diversity. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna harp on this for too long. But what? Like, there's so many things you could have said.
Yeah, 100%. I like the idea. I feel like the mountains don't look. I don't see Swiss Alps unless
Hmm.
these mountains are like not just on the LEDs. If they aren't,
Hmm.
I am a little worried about that. Like, I mean,
Is
unless we
wait,
could stick an artist up on top of the mountain as a part of their staging concept,
maybe,
that
but
could be
like I
fun.
see potentially. But my question right now is just: is the stage mostly apron?
I guess it looks like it's like a lot of like there's like this long part here, and then
Hmm.
there's a catwalk, and then there's like a satellite stage, I guess, here, which you could use the satellite stage in a really interesting way. I also like how
Yeah.
like the satellite stage kind of is so wide. It's like you're
Hmm.
looking at a TV set,
Yeah.
you know? It's interesting. And I hope artists could use that because I mean, you could use that very effectively, I feel like. Yeah, it does look
Hmm.
like a lot of apron because it's like you've got bodies here and
Hmm.
here, and it doesn't really look like you have much happening back here like that you could stand on as far as platform goes. So maybe you can't stick someone up on top of the mountain, which is a
Okay,
shame.
so I'm not loving the fact that the crowd is divided like that. I don't like how it's a complete division in the crowd. That's just kind of weird to me.
Well, they're united by music. They don't need to be together. Like I'm just looking at these pictures and like,
I mean, I don't hate it. Like as a design, I like the design. It's
it's
pretty nice.
interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I feel like people are going to be using this a lot. But if you use like
Hmm.
this piece in the satellite stagey bit a lot, you're not going to use much of the effect from the LEDs in the background. So I don't know. I feel like you could do something really interesting with this stage, but I fear most stage designers are not going to do, well, most of the people who put these shows together are not going to really do much.
Yeah, we'll see. Because like the center of the stage doesn't feel very central at all.
Brooke says the divide is a linguistic diversity. There we go.
Oh,
you know what?
no.
They have 4 official languages, so you've got like 4 quadrants of the stage. Maybe
some
that's
effect.
the concept. Is that right? How many languages do they have?
Yeah, I think it officially is 4.
Yeah, 4.
Potentially 5. Yeah.
4. I had a count. Ooh, what? There's gonna be audio only seats with that setup. Yeah, that is true.
That is not
like if you're like along the sides of the satellite stage, like in the center parts of those, and the act is performing in the middle, it's like, you know, how are you gonna see what's happening?
But I mean, like,
and then people
that
back
might
here
do well for people who can't really handle like bright lights or whatever. That might do well.
Me. And then people over here, like in front of the satellite stage, aren't gonna really be able to see what's happening on the apron part. It's a little
okay. I'm getting a little more puzzled the more I kind of envision how that's gonna go down.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels a little odd.
But like as a design, like practicality wise, I am not quite seeing the vision. I struggle to see that. But in terms of just physical design, aesthetically, I like it.
I think the only stage that really worked to me as like a live stage, or the stage that worked the best for a live stage, was 2015.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh Come to think of it, and it. Oh whoa. Okay, I'm beginning to see some reflections of 2015 and 2016 in this stage. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
a
it
little
has
bit.
that kind of masculine quality of Stockholm, but it has the kind of like points of Vienna.
I cannot stand the Stockholm stage. I hated it. I thought it was so like. I hated what it did for the
robust.
LEDs. Absolutely despised it. So that's what we have for like visual situations happening. Yeah, I'm gonna also pull up here. So I don't know. We've kind of chatted about the stage to the point where like, oh, I hit my mic again. I need something about this. Let me move this and hopefully I don't hit the mic again. I replaced the cords, and this is a continuing issue, which makes me fear that I need to get a new mic. And I'm like, can I not? I have a second mic somewhere, and I just can't find it.
I mean, it's done us well. It's serviced us well. But if it's time to retire old gal, then you know.
She's pink. Right. And then Elodie had a question about Ricola. Ricola are cough lozenges from the United States. Their branding is
They're
all
not actually
themed. Yeah, it's like all like Alpine themed. Like the commercial is someone blowing into an Alphorn and another person yelling Ricola in front of the Matterhorn. It's like just ingrained
we like
in my
to call
mind.
things cultured, and then like the country that we based it off of has no idea that we did that.
Oh yeah, like we also have Swiss Miss, which is a hot cocoa mix you can buy.
Which I've eaten dry so many times in my life. I've just eaten it right out of the bag.
I've never done that.
I've done it more consistently than I've had it as a hot chocolate, which is kind of sad. But
oh, the reason I said it, okay. The reason I said it like that is because that's the commercial. Like that's the sound of the commercial.
Yeah. Oh, is there not a jingle in France?
Yeah.
Il y a pas de petit chanson. Like there's nothing like that.
All right. So that's that side tangent. Okay, let's go ahead and let's talk about Vidbir. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so who do we got?
So we have 10 of the 11 acts who will be competing at Vidbir. There's one more wild card situation online again. We'll see what happens with that. Because of the wild card, there's more familiar names than there are who made it to the contest. So we have Future Culture with the song Waste My Time. Kayat with Honor, who is a returnee. He came second in 2020, I think. Double checking. Yes, he came second in 2020. Then we have Krillada with Stay True. Molody with My Sea. Zifferblatt with Bird of Prey. They came second last year. And like that was my biggest grower of like Vidbir last year. Like, yeah. I totally get why they came second. Then we have a BA with Dim. DK Inaket. Oh my gosh. DK Inahatik with the song Sil. Masha Kondrantenko with No Time to Cry, and then Vlad Sarif with Wind of Change. So, notes about artists. I've already mentioned we've got 2 returnees, Zifferblatt and Kayat. Very happy to see Zifferblatt back. I already kind of like said that a lot. As far as people who aren't returnees, I am also happy to see new faces. Now, a lot of these new faces are so new, I could not find them online. I couldn't even sample their wares. That's how new some of them were. Like a BA, I'm like a BA. That sounds like an African name. She does not look African.
Is that not an African name?
I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's like a Nigerian name. I was like, oh, they have like another Nigerian competing. No, I was wrong. But yeah, I couldn't find any of her songs. I did listen to stuff by DK Inahitek. It's very, I'm going to say this, and you don't know the sound I'm describing, you're going to think this is like an out-of-pocket description. Post-punk, they're a post-punk band. It very much sounds like former Soviet country industrial music. It's a vibe. Okay. It's very much a vibe. Okay. It's like this dark, kind of like you can see it playing in a goth club kind of music. I put a couple other songs on my main playlist already. I was like, this could be, I don't think it would do well at Eurovision necessarily, but I think that it could be an interesting song we get out of them. As far as competition goes. And we've got like a good amount of diversity here. Then we have Masha Kondratenko. She's an actress and a singer. She's released a few singles. Her most popular song is called Vanka Vistanka, which came out in 2022. And it's been used a lot. Like it's been remixed a lot, and it's popular to use in like edited footage of the war. Kind of like it's like a popular like backing track for that. And she's competed on like reality TV shows in Ukraine as well. So she's a known entity, and I'm expecting something like very pop from her, because that's kind of like what her back to Skog is like.
Very modern, something very modern. She's very fresh sound, I would say.
Yeah, sure. It's like a sound we haven't had from Ukraine in a few years. Is kind of what she's bringing to the table. And then Vlad Sarif, who is seeing Wind of Change. He won the 13th season of The Voice, and when the season he won, his audition song was Tattoo. So he's a little Eurovision fan. He also did the backing vocals, was one of the backing vocalists for Teresa and Maria last year. So
he just got off the stage and he wants a way back.
Yeah, he wants to go on. It's his turn, maybe instead of being solo. So I'm interested to see what we're going to get out of him as well. His stuff is very pop. It's also kind of like pop soul adjacent. He's like a nice richness to his voice I really enjoy. So I am curious to see what he's going to bring, and I do look forward to it as well. So yeah.
Krillada is back as well. She had participated last year, I believe.
Did she?
Was she not the one who had the song Queen or something to that effect?
Maybe. I feel bad now. Let me double check.
Because I think she had Queen last year. Stay True would be her song this year.
I'm just gonna double check it because now I feel bad if you're right.
It's okay.
Honestly, my brain is like
this is why we got to put our brains together. It's because like by the time one forgets the detail, the other one at least does remember.
Let me just double check. Yep, she did. Krillada is back. She was there last year. She came third.
Which is very respectable. She is back for blood.
Is she the one who wanted to withdraw? Who wanted to withdraw?
do not recall.
Oh no, she was a wild card last year.
That's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
because
why
I
I don't
know
remember
she
her.
had some
I
kind
feel
of
bad.
interesting case about her entry.
Yeah. So yeah, Queen came third in the wild card.
Hmm.
She didn't actually make it to the show. But there are people who did make it to the show last year who are in the wild card list. Like Yagodi's on there.
Hmm.
Which I'd be down to seeing Yagodi back in. I like Tsunamiya.
Hmm.
Tsunamiya. Wow, why is that hard to say like that? But yeah,
Yagori, yeah,
yeah,
they're extremely interesting. Love them.
like honestly, I felt like low key take an edible and watch that. It would have been a trip. Like the edible. Like, could you imagine like the edible kicking in right then? Magic. Yeah.
The best anxiety attack ever.
Oh no. I was
No,
listening
it's
to that
fine.
I was listening to that song way too loud, like on
Hmm.
Halloweenish. It was just came on my playlist as I'm handing out candy. My
Hmm.
sister's like, "We're not trying to sacrifice children. Could you not?" And I was like, "No, it's a good song." Okay. Yeah,
You hear
yeah,
that?
that's kind of
Hmm.
that's what was happening with Vidbir. I'm very much looking forward to it. And I think we're gonna get good musical diversity, but Vidbir always tends to give us a good bit of diversity.
Hmm. And
Now,
it's
speaking of
especially like it's oh not my closing thought on Vidbeer. It's especially nice too to see this many new acts who
mhm,
are promising to show the same echelon of performance quality as established acts. So that's always exciting.
yeah,
But yeah,
who
that's my
do we
closing thought
know?
on Vidbeer.
Yeah, and speaking of Vidbir and their musical diversity, let's turn to something that didn't have a lot of musical diversity for me. Benidorm Fest.
Yeah.
So we got the
Oh,
songs from
Benidorm
Benidorm
Fest.
Fest this week, guys.
We did. We got those songs. We got them. Okay. I'll read off the names. So we have Carla Frigo with the song Bésame. We have Celine Van Hale with La Casa. We have Chica Sobresalto singing Mala Feminista. We have Daniela Blasco with the song Unana. David Afonso with Amor Barato. De Teresa with the song La Pena. Henry Semler with No Lo Ves. Jay Cabello with VIP. Kingdom with Me Gustas Tú. Cuve with Loca Para Ti, I believe was how it was pronounced. La Chispa with Arirta de Llorar. Lucas Boone with Te Escribo en el Cielo. Mawot with Rayo di Sole. Melomana with I'm a Queen. Melody with Esa Diva. And Sonia and Selena with Reinas. Those will be the competing acts in Benidorm this year. One of them is the Spanish song.
Which one to choose? Here's the thing. I don't hate it.
Mhm.
I'll say this: listening to the playlist this year was easier for me than it was last year. I found the
Mhm.
Benidorm lineup last year to be mostly abysmal. I liked 2 songs on that playlist, and one of them won, and the second one came second. I think, yeah, like no, like that's literally how I feel about Benidorm Fest last year.
Mhm.
This year, my issue is it's a lot of songs occupying the same space.
Yeah.
It's like whoever came up with who was going to compete was like, people like the old lady singing about being a slut. Let's
Mhm.
go ahead and give the people what they want clearly, divas.
Yeah, but it feels like they kind of did it after being somewhat exasperated by the crowd who wanted it, as in like, here, you
Yeah.
gays, you want pop girlies, you want upbeat pop girlies singing like really fast sleigh songs. Here you go, have all of them.
Like what was
Like
that
get
one?
away from me, kind of a
It
thing.
like the one it starts out like kind of soft
Hmm.
and then there's a drop and it's just her screaming. It's like
Arieta de llorar. Yeah. Oh, that one is very interesting.
I think I like it,
Hmm.
but it's too much. Like
Yeah, it has that kind of aspect of just like I know that if I really lean into it, I could love this. But we've seen Eurovision attempt this kind of sound before, and it didn't turn out well at all. It might be too
I think
much. It might be too
I
much.
think it's one that could do well with the right staging. Like
Mm.
like that's one that you can't listen to that on its own. You need a visual aid to get you through it, I feel like.
Sí, claro.
So there's Essa Diva. Again, it's a lot.
Hmm.
I'm a queen. Again, a lot. Reinas means queen. There's like the 3 in a row of just like powerful
There's a
women.
lot of there's a lot of female empowerment in this Benidorm, which I mean, it was already a very female empowerment kind of national selection, distinctly so in previous
Yeah.
years. But this time, I feel like they're really make turning it into the kind of crux of why they even started selecting people.
Yeah. And then like whatever the men are doing, they're doing. I can't tell you a single thing about any of those
There's
songs.
a one male ballad, but it didn't really stand out to me in any significant way when I
Which was the
listened.
ballad?
Te escribo en el cielo by Lucas Boone,
Okay.
the long hair guy. Yeah.
Is that about a
Eh,
pencil? Wait, what does escribo mean?
um, I write you into the sky, I believe is the translation of that.
Okay. I knew
Yeah.
it had to do with writing in sky.
Yeah.
Um, that makes sense. Yeah.
But anyone hablando español, please do correct me because I am not confident in that translation. Yeah, that one is the male ballad.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's distinct. At least it's not a woman screaming at me.
Yeah.
I don't like. Here's the thing. I don't mind a diva song. Okay. Like
Spain in particular produces really good diva songs. They
they
do it
do.
well. Yeah.
It's just like when you're curating a national final, and you've got like more than half your songs that are diva songs. How am I going to tell any of these songs apart?
They're literally going to eat each other all up, and we're going to be left with just the unique ones. But the unique ones, I feel like, don't. I don't know. I'm not there with them yet either. It's just I'm disappointed with Benidorm this year because I haven't really quite found a song that's worth, at least to me, latching onto yet. I'm gonna listen through the playlist as many times as I feel like is needed for sure because I'm probably gonna end up liking a song or two. But usually, first impression is a pretty big thing with Benidorm, and I am not getting that very distinctly.
I mean, like, because it's like we are weirdos. We listen to these songs over
Yeah,
and over again.
yeah.
Even if we hate them, we still gonna listen to them, you know? You're a
Hmm.
normal person tuning in to watch Eurovision, or you're a normal person tuning in to watch Benidorm Fest. These people are not gonna have the time to let the song marinate. It's gonna be
Hmm.
first impressions. And I just
Hmm.
feel like so many of these songs are fighting with each other for like to be the center of attention. And
Yeah.
it's just gonna lead to nothing but like I guess only the strong survive.
Yeah, and I really hate to say this, especially so early on, but Spain doesn't feel like as a country with a delegation for Eurovision trying to win right now.
Hmm.
Like I feel like they're just a little too scrambled, a little too confused and top heavy to call themselves Eurovision competitive in this state. So I really need to be impressed by whatever's on stage.
Because it's like I found the first year we did Benidorm Fest to be great.
The best
I
year,
love the
probably.
first year.
It was probably
And
the best year.
for me, every year since then, I've just been disappointed.
It's like Benidorm Fest is like the Malou Pritz of national finals.
Oh my
You know,
god.
every time we see it again, it's just like knocked down a peg, and then I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. You know what I
I
mean,
know.
though. Like,
I know. That's why I reacted the way I did, which is, yeah, you're right. You're right. So I don't. I'm gonna let them marinate a little while because you and
hmm
I both remember when we sat down and we listened to all the songs the first year, we
hmm
were hating a little bit until we got the lives.
yeah,
So
and especially slow mo. Like we that was just straight up dumb on our part. I'm
yeah.
sorry, that was probably the biggest fluke that you and I have ever put forward.
I mean, to be fair, we did start the stream afterwards apologizing.
I mean, we did. We spent that entire stream apologizing, but you know what? That
Uh,
at least goes to show that Benidorm, you like give them a little bit of leeway because we don't know. But right now, what was given to us with the intention of showing that, like, here's what's to come, was disappointing.
Yeah. I don't really have much more to say about Benidorm at this point. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll talk about it more when the time comes. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Fik, because we're in the midst of our Festivali Kёnges experience, our Festivali Kёnges journey.
If anyone is just jumping into the stream after the introduction,
actually, hold on, I'm looking at comments before we move on to something else.
Comments, come on. Yeah, I want to see what everyone's saying.
Okay, Peter Hadich says, I liked 4 songs. They are kind of the same. I bet it's the 4 songs of Screaming Spanish Ladies, because there's 4 of those that all sound the same to me. They bleed together. Besame is literally the only song from Benidorm Fest I like. Is what Arya
I've seen Flowers for Besame. I've seen Flowers for that one. Yeah.
Which one is that?
That is one of the diva songs. That is by Carla Frigo.
Okay, so it's one of the Screaming Ladies. Yeah.
To an effect.
Yes. Okay, and let me see here. Okay, and then Lewis says, it would be nice to get some non-Castilian songs in Benidorm, to be honest.
That happens occasionally. Like, where's our Galician entry? You know, where's our Catalan entry? Come on, you guys. A Basque entry for once. That would be lit. Like, come on.
Yeah, like something not. I mean, hey, it's Spain. Which, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's talk about Festivali Kёnges, I guess. We have our finalists.
We sure do. Cleonza Suicide, free her. Anyways, now to get into the topic of Festivali Kёnges. So yeah, once again, you guys can check out my article to just kind of delineate a little bit how the selection works. But Albania will be selecting their song a little more than an hour after we close the stream today. So with the final, we're going to see the 15 acts perform. Jet with the song Gjall, Casey Jashi with Kurbota Hesht, Vesa Smolica with Lutem, Stina with Ekishim Nis, Diente Detit with Larg, Nita Latifi with Zemras, Gerj Kachinari with Larg Yetes Partı, Orgesa Zaimi with Ipar, Ardit Chuni with Amane, Algertsala with Bosch, Shkodra Electronike with Serm, Lauren Tasrama singing Frima, Elana Gyata singing Carnaval, Ma singing Antihero, and closing the show, we have Ales Kalatse with Miegul.
Can I talk about Jet's outfit real quick from like the first night?
Yes, no, please.
Because
please
I need to have Why was he dressed like Blanche? Why was he serving Blanche? Was it De La Rue from Golden Girls?
He was. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, Blanche Devereaux is the name of the character. Rue McCallaghan is the name of the actress. It was like a lounge set with pearls on it. It was giving grandma.
But it was like 2 sets of descending pearls, like in the whole
pretty.
Fit. It was cascading.
It was something it was something like, there's this old lady, this old Hungarian woman who comes across my TikTok For You page every once in a while, who she's out shopping with her grandson and her son who are millionaires. It's something I could see her wearing. I could see my grandmother wearing it too. So it was giving granny.
It's giving, I'm very proud of my daughter on this special day.
No, because it was black.
Yeah, you're right. It was black, so not quite wedding fit, but the pearls were giving authentically old lady.
Yes. Yeah. And then I want to talk about Mal's outfit, which was I was gonna say Harley Quinn goes to the Black Parade. It was
Mal. At least he was just like, y'all aren't gonna get arms, okay? You're gonna get vocals.
He did improve his voice. He sounded much better this year. I don't know if he's more confident this year than he was last year, but he sounded much better this year. I'm not gonna lie. Those were vocals I would expect to have happening in Albania. He really did improve as a singer, and for that, kudos to him.
All respect just based off that alone.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what else happened. I didn't watch Nostalgia Night at all because
I didn't watch it at all either because I had to prepare for a Christmas party. But we need to highlight Shkoda Electronica Zirm. I am so invested in the performance of that.
Honestly, I'm ready for that to go.
It's
that
Eurovision
live
ready. It's
is
Eurovision
good.
ready.
That is excellent live. I thought Orgessa, fantastic. I love like the children's
Dance
choir. I
break.
know we can't have that at Eurovision. You know what? There's something powerful about a dance break and you're not moving a muscle. Shows self-control and determination. Also,
Yeah.
the staging this year has been upped. I was
Mhm.
like, since when do we have staging packages? Okay. Honestly, I was impressed with what I saw those first 2 nights. And
Mhm.
I'm ready for tonight because it's like I'm going in here. I am rooting for Zerm.
Mhm.
Not gonna lie, but there's like 6 songs I'd be totally good with going to Eurovision at this point.
Mhm. Even I
Probably
have to
more.
say, George Kacinari, Lag Spatu. People weren't really paying attention after a certain entry had performed in the second semifinal, but with him especially, I do feel an incredible level of development that's only come after all of these years of competing. I feel like he's grown into himself a lot. So George, awesome job.
Yeah, and like I have no notes about anyone else's outfits. I'm looking forward to seeing what we get here. I'm just looking at comments now. Are Your Winning
Mhm.
Son says, I haven't seen the stream in a while. Just wanted to say, Orgessa is going from jazz bar to the chaos bop, and that is par. Gave me whiplash. Honestly,
You never see what she's gonna do next. Like
you
you
never know what she's
never
gonna do
know what
next.
she's gonna do next.
It is low key giving me chaos
Yeah.
vibes, but chaos is what objectively iconic for a reason.
Yeah.
See, Lewis says it's Alvana are best for me. I feel
Mhm.
kind of a little let down by the live for Alvana,
I
mostly
do a
because
little bit as well.
I remember Maitana with such fondness
Mhm.
that this was kind of a letdown for me personally. She still sounded great.
Mhm.
Um, it's just like for me personally, I would have liked to see more from her.
Yeah, especially because it's such a choreography focused song. I would have, and it also might be because this is Albania. They need to be just like a little bit more modest. But I would have liked to see riskier and or more camera capturing choreography.
Yeah,
Something to the effect of like Maroof Siren Song from 2019.
I
Just a snapshot of something so iconic to do the song, like the visual justice that could be attributed to the soundscape that it has.
I fear that might be a little too bold for an Albanian audience. I
Yeah,
thought it
that's
was too
why
bold for a Ukrainian
maybe not for
audience.
FIC. Maybe not for
Yeah.
FIC, but like if this song does go to Eurovision, then I would like to see that. But I'm thinking because this is Albania, keeping things more conservative. Also, it's a small stage. You can't really get away with a whole ton, choreography wise. But that is, yeah, that's my critique. It's
Yeah.
good though, and I do see it going to Eurovision. It pretty seriously has a path as well.
I think Alvana is going to ESC, but the song needs to intensify the choreo because dancing is giving Tali in the worst way possible.
Yeah, yeah. Um, it's but it like it was when we saw the camera script for Carnival, and it's like, oh, there's a lot of close shots. There's a lot of very detailed. Um, there's a lot of good details that the camera would like to capture in this song. Then I knew that it was a good amount of investment that they were putting in the visual element of it. But they were probably limited by a number of things in Albania to keep the choreography from being what it should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Elodie. Shakara Electronic is my number one. They are the only one that matter for Fikmas.
I
Honestly,
I will probably say right now that Zero might be one of the best songs we get all season. It's just so impressive in a number of ways that we don't ever see from Albania.
yeah.
It'd be a shame to lose them, and like it's a 1 in 15 shot that they go, but I would be very very happy if they did.
Albania does like an electric guitar.
They do like an electric guitar, but they love a pretty woman.
They
They
love a
lack an
pretty
electric
woman
guitar,
singing
but
a
they love a
ballad.
pretty woman. Uh-huh.
I don't know. Like I said, this is a strong year for Fick.
Mm-hmm.
Very strong
It
year for
very
Fick.
much is. And I'll say this again, Albania will Albania will show you the most beautiful woman you've ever seen singing the worst song you've ever heard. Like they consistently have like a woman who's styled to the gods, perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect outfit, screaming a ballad at you, and you're just like, wow, this is ass. But I love you.
I disagree, but okay. Are You Winning Son? I'm rooting for Augusta. I hope her performance gets better staging if it goes to ESC.
Well, we can't
Again,
have
I
a choir
agree.
of children. We can't do that.
But she can
Something.
stand there and just stone face stare at you during a dance break.
See, no, yeah, that is like a Gaia Gambutsa dance break. Please, like any and every day.
Brooke says, I can't stop hearing the Mad World
Yeah,
melody in Carnival. So that's what I've been hearing. I
yeah.
was having trouble placing it, but now that you say it,
Mhm.
I hear it. I agree.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just had this realization since she mentioned Mad World. I mean, like tangentially, but it also kind of gives me like Six Flags music. You know, it's kind of giving Six Flags. Oh my gosh,
The
Europeans,
bus
y'all are
is
not so
coming.
briefed on that, but that's a
Oh
chain
no,
of
no.
theme park.
Yeah, but they know Venga Bus. Those are Dutch people.
Oh, that is a Dutch song. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Hmm.
Dutch song. By the Venga Boys. But yeah.
If Ivana does
Sorry.
go to Eurovision and we get the chance to interview her, we got to ask her. It's like, have you heard the song Mad World? Let's go. If she goes, she believe I think she's song 13 tonight again, which would be 1313. That's really interesting. We shall see.
Yep, she's 13th in the running order. It's a good spot in the running order. She's coming after Frim and then before Antihero.
Mhm.
So,
Also, if anyone really missed Metana from 2020, her 2020 song, go ahead and watch Ardit Chuni with Amane. That is a pretty that is
low key, yeah.
a
Yeah.
synthesis of that. So, which I mean, very interesting way how all of his stuff turned out. Diego says, "How do we know if the points are proportional in fake? I know the jury is 50% of the vote, so they could theoretically boost Zierm." I read somewhere. Okay, so I believe I'm referring to Eurovision World right now, in which it'll be 50% jury, 25% Albanian SMS voting, and 25% international online voting, which is interesting. Very interesting. They could theoretically
Yeah.
boost Jerem because Jerem has that greater international appeal, but so does Carnival, and so do a couple other entries here too. So it would be interesting to see how the international crowd factors in. ROTW, baby. So
Yeah.
dumb.
And then Maitana Elodie says, Maitana was perfect live though, so the sadness was understandable. She had the full package. I think this is like you're referring to like 2020.
What is it with Fick and being like, here's a winner, we're gonna send this, and then beelining and doing the most random thing you've ever seen at the very last second. Like, this is a very particularly Fick thing.
Yeah, it's Fick. I don't know. Some would say it's corruption. I say it's Albania. Who knows? Okay. See, Peter Hadich says, well, I wasn't a Eurovision fan in 2020, so I haven't experienced disappointing fans because of Maitana Baldana didn't win. I am not prepared for the disappointment of 2.0 if she doesn't
I
win.
mean, there's really any variable that could make her not the winner. Like, given Fick, it doesn't really matter how
Yeah.
reliable things look for the longest time. By the time it's the announcement section, you will completely be thrown for a loop. This happens to me every single year. And I've been watching Fick for like 8 years at least at this point. 8 years?
I'm trying to think what was the first year I watched Fick.
17, I believe was no, I didn't watch 17. 18 was the year because that had Maul in it, and that kind of caused me to be very invested.
Okay, I remember watching the year Mall won.
Mhm.
What did they say in 2017? That was Lindita?
That was Lindita. Sure
okay,
was.
so yeah, the first year I actually watched Fic was 2018 too. Yeah, because I remember watching that.
Oh wow, like Fic always surprises me, and so I'm trying not to go into it with any expectations, but it's hard when there's already these songs that you really like and really would like to see at Eurovision. Zerum, for example, that's one of the ones where I feel like Eurovision as a show would benefit greatly from just how flash forward that entry is.
Yeah, we'll see.
But Carnival out divas all of Spain at this rate. Like, ooh, you know?
I mean, here's
it's
the
like,
other
get
thing.
up, girl, get up.
Here's the other thing, because like there's divas in Albania. Let's not hesitate when we say that. Like Albania is the land of diva singers, right? Malta's up there as well. But at least here, the songs are all different enough that it doesn't all bleed together into like just screaming Albanian women. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a healthy amount of diversity in this fic, and I'm happy about that. This is also the least ballady fic ever.
It is so unballady.
Yeah.
Honestly,
so
that's kind of like why I'm like, I don't know where this is gonna go this year. Because it's just like the first year since I'm watching that's like, where are all the ballads at? We're trying something fresher, we're trying something a little new. Who knows? But yeah, that's about that.
I respect it. I love the idea that we're gonna take a bigger risk this year, but it also makes me think about the ballads that we aren't gonna get anymore. Like I don't want them to be squeezed out. Cleonsa, get on that corruption payroll, girl.
Oh my
I need to see you win. I'm sorry, it was devastating to see her lose last year and to see her not qualify this year when she was a Winx. Unfair. Clash
was a Winx.
Come on. Like, and also one of the best vocalists of the show.
Yeah.
Like, girl.
I'm surprised she didn't qualify. I really am. I was expecting to see her when I looked at the finalist list.
Get her on the corruption payroll, please. Like, I need to see her do better.
Yeah, but that's about that. So that's the stream for today. I'm gonna call it. We'll be back next week. We can talk about whoever it is that actually does win Fic. We're also hit on not Albania. Oh my gosh, Luxembourg songs next week as well. And I don't know what else is happening this week. We've got Christmas, so it might be a quiet week.
It'll probably be a quiet week, but it'll after the stream closes, it'll be another quiet hour or two because you and I at least will be jumping onto the Fic stream to see how they choose this song.
I know, I'm excited because like this is the only national final I get to watch live this year, which makes me sad. But everyone else
at least it's something as big and grand as Fic.
Yeah, true. And I have Christmas presents to wrap, and I think that like wrapping Christmas presents to Fic is a 10 out of 10 experience.
Yeah,
like it feels like the season's happening.
Merry Fikmas, everyone. Merry Fikmas.
Merry Fikmas, everyone. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back again next week. And if you enjoyed the stream, don't forget to hit like, subscribe. We're here every week. Check out EurovisionFam.com. I have links to the articles we had discussed earlier on in the stream in the description box. And we'll see you again in a week.
See you again next week. Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye.